Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. One of the worst financial situations I have ever seen. Let's just hope we can find a solution.
I feel like I'm failing myself. I'm failing my kids. I'm failing my family, especially my mom.
And you asked me, can I afford it?
I would love to take my dad to a Michael Bublé concert.
You like him?
I do. We love him almost as much as we love you, Susie.
Oh, well, I guess that I better love him, huh? Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I want to talk to all of you about advice that I give. And when I give this advice, you gripe and gripe and gripe. And that advice is when I tell somebody to claim bankruptcy. You write in and you say, Susie, how can you tell these people to claim bankruptcy? Why would you tell anybody to claim bankruptcy? Well, I want all of you to listen and listen closely right now. Can you just tell me, what is the difference? What is the difference? You get all this credit card debt, car loan debt, mortgage debt, whatever debt it may be, and you don't have the money to pay it. And so you just stop paying the credit cards. You just stop paying your car loan. You just stop paying all of these things. What is the difference between doing that and taking the legal route, and that is claiming bankruptcy to at least let your creditors know that you really can't afford to pay it? So you just think, it's all right, just don't pay it, just be all right, it'll go away. It will not go away. So when you don't pay your bills continue to accrue interest in some cases. Some of your creditors have the legal authority to garnish your wages. They can sue you. They can put liens on your home. All this stuff that you don't need. The right advice, the upstanding advice, is when somebody really doesn't have the money to pay their bills. Then claim bankruptcy and face it right on and start all over again. Now, I'll tell you, if somebody has claimed bankruptcy once, I will be hard-pressed to tell them to claim bankruptcy again. And then maybe they should just suffer and do the consequences and do all those things. Maybe, because they haven't learned their lesson. But for those people who have gotten in trouble for the very first time, can't you just have a little compassion? Can't you be okay? There is nothing wrong when somebody doesn't have money to pay the bills to claim bankruptcy. And that brings me to my one-on-one tonight, Michelle, who I hope we can find a solution to her serious problem. Michelle is here from New York City. She's 37, works as a secretary. She's single and has 2 children, ages 3 and 6. Michelle has depleted her savings, taken out loans, and borrowed from her 403B several times. Michelle, I have to tell you, I'm glad you wrote in when you did, but I want you to be the one who tells everybody about your situation and why you wrote in.
Well, last year, Susie, my friend, we decided to go to the casino together. That's in New York. It's been there a while, actually in Queens. And I went with her, and from then, I kind of like it. It was like my way of getting away from everything, of just being by myself, having time to myself. And I started gambling, and it just became an addiction. Then I kept going every day, on weekends, and it's just kind of getting out of hand now. And when I look at my savings account, look at my statements, and like, what are you doing? You need to get it together for the sake of my kids and myself.
Good. You know what I wished I had heard you just say? That I need to get it together for the sake of myself and my kids. But being a mother always puts her children before her. But one day, ladies, we're going to learn that we really do come first, because without us, our children have nothing, which is why I want to focus on that. So, Michelle, you've been doing this, you've gambled away everything. And besides the fact that you've gambled away everything, you're living in a condo,
Right.
And you found yourself in a situation where you aren't even able to pay the mortgage on the condo. And how long has it been since you paid the mortgage on your condo?
2 years.
2 years. So the truth of the matter is, your financial troubles started quite a few years ago.
Right.
The gambling started a year ago, but financially, you were getting yourself into deep water in all kinds of ways, from credit cards and everything, for a while now.
Right.
I have a question I want to ask you. Have you been watching the Suze Orman Show for a while?
I'm ashamed to say 10 years now.
So for 10 years, you've been watching the show. That's good.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
All right. And, you know, sometimes people never get it. So 10 years, relatively speaking, can be a very short period of time.
Right.
And compared to some of the people that you hear and see calling into the show here, would you say that you're better off than them, the same as them, or worse off than them?
I think at this point, worse off.
Good, because you are. And it's important that I know that at least we're able to stand in the truth at this point in time. And I was so afraid you were going to say, no, I'm not as bad off as all of those people. Because as I looked at this and I went over everything with the producers on the show the other day, you know, I actually said, you know, we're in a situation now which is one of the worst that we've ever had on the show. Not hopeless, but it really is up there. And let me show everybody why, okay? You have $21,000 in a retirement account. That's great, but you've borrowed about $21,000 from your 403B. So you're currently maxed out on the amount of loans your 403B will allow you to take. You only have $200 in an emergency fund, and you have 2 kids. So we have $200 in case something happens. You do have $1,100 in investments. You have a home that the current home value is $250,000, but you owe $350,000 on it, so it is underwater right now, and you haven't been paying on it. You have consumer debt of all kinds, really, personal debt, credit card debt, and so forth, of about $80,000. So as you sit here at 37 years of age, we are about $150,000 in debt. But that's not the bad part. The bad part really is, even without you paying a mortgage, you are about $2,500 a month short, $2,328 exactly, to being able to pay your bills. So the problem being that when they foreclose on you, and they will foreclose on you, that we don't have the money for you to move and be able to pay your bills and to do everything. And what's important, though, for you to understand is that I'm sure if you wished you could turn back the hands of time, you would do it totally differently. Is that correct?
I sure would. I sure would.
But we can't. So I don't want you to continue to punish yourself for what you did this last year, what you did a few years ago. You know, I don't want you to do that to yourself, because if you keep looking at what you did, wishing you hadn't done it, you're not going to find the energy that you're going to need to be able to do that which you need to do. Now, obviously, you just, you know, rubbed your eye a little so that I see tears there. Maybe somebody can give you a little bit of a Kleenex.
I have some.
You have one. So when you cry, and when those tears come, can you tell me what your thoughts are, what you're thinking, or what it feels like for you to be crying right now?
I just feel like I failed. I feel like I'm failing myself.
Yeah.
I'm failing my kids.
Yeah.
I'm failing my family, especially my mom, because she expects so much more from me. You know?
And why do you think you failed?
Because at 37, I really should have gotten it together already. I'm an adult now.
What do you think was the trigger that got you to get it untogether?
Just, I think mostly because of the recent breakup with my son's father. I really thought this was it. We're going to be together forever, and it didn't work out.
Would you say, if I asked you that your children love you, would you say yes, they love you?
With all their hearts, Susie.
With all their hearts.
All
and
their
they look
hearts.
at their mama, and they don't see that you gambled. They don't see the debt. They don't see the mortgage payments that weren't made. They see mama, who obviously is buying them toys that she can't afford, but that's another point here, right? But they're seeing their mother, who they love unconditionally.
Right.
So for their sake and for your sake, I'm going to give you an action plan when it comes to your money. Now, when it comes to gambling, you might seriously want to think about going to Gamblers Anonymous, because that's not what the Suze Orman Show is about. The Suze Orman Show is dealing with what can we do financially speaking to help you out of a situation, which is exactly what I am going to do right after this break. I think it is essential that you claim bankruptcy. And I think it's essential that you claim bankruptcy, yes.
Wow.
And later, when wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
So crazy that I told her the only way you will get near the store is if Suze Orman says you could go there.
Wait. I'm looking at this, and I just have to ask this because I think we have a mistake on our screen. Welcome back, everybody. For those of you just tuning in, I'm one-on-one tonight with Michelle, who's coming to us from New York. She's 37. Michelle has 2 children. Michelle just told the audience that for the past year, she's been gambling. She gambled away all their money. They really don't have anything. She hasn't been paying a mortgage payment for the past year or 2. And she really is in serious trouble financially speaking, and I'm about to give Michelle an action plan. So, Michelle, right before we went to break, I told you that I was going to give you a plan. But this plan can only work if you're willing now to make sacrifices, big sacrifices, that you really weren't willing to make prior to this. Because again, you're only bringing home $2,000 a month. And by the way, the reason you're not bringing home more than that is over $1,000 a month is taken out of your paycheck to pay back your 403B loans. Now, as time goes on, they will be paid off and you'll have more money, but that's why you're not bringing home $3,000 a month, which would help seriously in what we're doing. So you're willing to make sacrifices?
Yes.
Okay. So here's a few things that I think that you have to do. I think it is essential that you claim bankruptcy. And I think it's essential that you claim bankruptcy, yes, because you have a car payment that's exorbitant. You have credit card debt that's exorbitant. You are maxed out on your credit cards and your 403B, so you can't take any more loans. So what's going to happen here is that you're not going to have the money now to pay your car payment. You're not going to have the money to pay your credit cards. You're not having money already to pay your mortgage payment. And so we have no money to pay. So you would be far better off claiming bankruptcy than just not contacting and paying these creditors who are going to be calling your house, hunting you down wherever you are. The interest will continue to accumulate. The loans will continue to grow. And there is really no difference between bankruptcy and just not paying your bills, except bankruptcy legally stops everything. Now, when you claim bankruptcy, they will take away your car.
What?
When you claim bankruptcy, you aren't going to have anything, but you aren't going to have to pay those bills as well. besides claiming bankruptcy, I want you to listen closely to me now.
Okay.
On some level, you are rolling the dice and gambling when it comes to your condo. Because any day now, it's been 2 years since you did the condo payment, even though you tried to get the bank to work with you, you tried to do a short sale, you really tried to do the ethical thing. But the banks just wouldn't work with you, as they didn't work with many people. Bankruptcy will take care of that for you. But right now, you're rolling the dice as to when are you going to come home when there'll be a padlock on the door? When are they going to take this house away from you? So you need to stop this gambling with what's happening to this house with you and your children. So when you claim bankruptcy, the house is gone. I'm going to ask you if you think it is possible that you and your children could move in with your mother. If you and your children could move in with your mother and you were to pay her $300 to $500 a month to stay there, and if you were to make the following cuts that I am going to give you in your spending, I'm here to tell you in just 2 years, you will have money that you can start saving, eventually move out, and do this all over again the right way, as long as you don't continue to gamble.
Okay.
All right, you're ready to hear the cuts?
Yes, I am.
How do you feel about this so far? How do you feel about claiming bankruptcy?
I didn't think that was that far as to claim bankruptcy.
The only reason you were able to make it this far is because you were able to put things on credit cards. You're almost at the max of your credit limit.
Yes.
You were able to take out a 403B loan. You can't do that anymore because you're maxed out on loans.
Right.
So now you're at the end of this fake rope, so to speak, that was holding you above water by taking out money that you didn't have to pay back. So bankruptcy is exactly what you're going to have to do. And we're going to have to learn how to take public transportation. We're going to have to really dig down deep to show everybody, I got myself in this situation, and this is what I'm doing to get myself out of it. All right, so here's where you're going to be cutting. When you claim bankruptcy, you won't have to pay $275 a month in condo fees. You won't have the electric bill of $120. Your car will be gone, saving you a $600 a month payment, $200 a month in gas, $60 a month in Easy Pass, and $192 a month for car insurance. Shortly, you won't be paying the cell phone bill for your daughter's father, saving $100 a month. As much as you love your daughter, I have to tell you, $80 a month for Spanish lessons is not a necessity. Vacations and gifts need to go, saving $40 a month. Bankruptcy means your credit card payment of $303 and your $422 credit union loan payment will be wiped out. And finally, you're going to stop gambling, do you hear me? Which you estimated costs you $400 a month on average. That's almost $2,800 a month in cuts, which will bring your $4,300 a month expenses down to $1,550. Add in now public transportation and at least $300 a month rent to your mother, and that brings us to a grand total of $2,000 a month of expenses, which your income will cover. And as your 403B loans are paid off, you're going to have more in your paycheck, and you can start putting that into an emergency fund to build that up. Because you have to have more than $200 a month in an emergency fund when you have young ones. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, I'm hoping like claiming bankruptcy won't affect me because like 5 years from now, I wanted to purchase a house. Hopefully, I don't
Michelle,
know how that would
listen to me.
affect. Yes.
You have got to stop living in the future. You have got to stop living in the past. You have got to start living in reality, because I'm here to tell you, and please listen to me closely, that if you come home tonight after this interview and you find a padlock on your door, because you're 2 years into already not paying your mortgage. You do not have the money to do anything. Eventually, they'll repossess your car from you. They'll sue you from the credit card companies and put a lien on anything they can.
Right.
This is not, oh, you were hoping one day you could buy a home. That shows me that you're not dealing with reality. That shows me you're still in financial la-la land going what could be versus the reality of your children are about to be living in that car sooner than you have any idea, and they might even be in it when it's repossessed. So bankruptcy is where you need to go. Will you be able to eventually buy a home one day? Probably. But before we even think about that, I need you to think about how you are going to put food on the table for your children.
Okay.
So listen to me. We are here for you. If you have questions, you just call back.
Okay.
But if I were you, I would start this process immediately. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
My husband and I got married right out of high school, and we didn't have a lot of money. So now it's our 15-year anniversary. We worked really hard to get where we are now, and I really would love to get this ring.
Is this a want or a need?
It's definitely a want.
Also,
it's been a passion of mine since I was a kid. I used to, instead of going outside and playing with the neighbors, I used to sit and watch Julia Child for like 5 hours a day on Saturdays.
I used to read Richie Rich comic books. What do you want to buy?
Michael Bublé concert.
Culinary school tuition.
Hermes Birkin Crocodile handbag.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, is this your favorite segment of the Suze Orman Show? The Can I Afford It segment? You always watch all these things that these people want to buy. Then you write me and you go, Suze, why do these people want to buy these things? That doesn't matter. Because what happens here is this. No matter what you want to buy, I don't judge the what. I just tell you if you can afford it or not after I've asked you a few questions. So you're ready? Let's begin. All right, Molly, what do you want to buy?
Hey, girlfriend.
Molly, girl, what do you want to buy?
I would love to take my dad to a Michael Bublé concert.
You like him?
I do. We love him almost as much as we love you, Susie.
Oh, well, I guess that I better love him, huh? He is kind of sexy, isn't he? He's kind of like, all righty, now I like when he does all his singing. Anyway,
He's
so
got that
you want to
swagger.
take Dad, he does have swagger. He's got a swagger when he sings. Anyway, you want to take Daddy $350 for a concert?
Well, that includes the tickets, the travel, the one night in the hotel, and all other expenses.
All right, because I was going to say, are you telling me they're $175 a ticket? Even I wouldn't charge that much for an event.
No.
Anyway,
No, that's everything.
Show me your money, sweetie.
All right, so right now I don't have any monthly income, but I worked over the summer as a camp counselor, and I made over $3,300.
That's good.
And I live rent-free.
Everybody notice, everybody take a note. Molly is 18 years of age, so don't go judging her that she doesn't work. Go on, keep going.
But I do have about $140 in expenses per month. I have no debt, and I have $5,900 in liquid and $30,000 in a 529 plan, which is helping fund college.
You betcha it is, but you have $5,900 and you want to take about 7% of that right in there to go and see a concert with Daddy approved. Now listen to me, if you had told me the tickets were $600, if they had been more than that and you were taking more than 5 or 6% out, I would have said no. But you're doing great. Keep working those summers until you work full time. And tell Michael I said hi. Whitney, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to see if I can afford culinary school tuition.
You do, all right. And do you think it's worth it? So many people have called into the show. They've spent all of this money because, you know, $1,350 a month for 2 years is about $32,000. Do you really think it's worth it? You don't think you can just learn it in on-the-spot training?
No, you know, it's been a passion of mine since I was a kid. I used to, you know, instead of going outside and playing with the neighbors, I used to sit and watch Julia Child for like 5 hours a day on Saturdays. So it's a passion of mine.
I used to read Richie Rich comic books. Can you just see little Susie going, wow, wow. Anyway, show me the money.
Yeah. Well, my take home is $3,851. My expenses are $2,513, and that includes $730 in rent.
Yep.
I have no debt, thanks in part to you. And in savings, I have $41,000 liquid, $2,000 in investments, and $50,000 in retirement.
You got it in. Are you funding your Roth IRA to the max? That's a no. You are. So you want to go to school and be able to cook up some meals for yourself, but you're really not cooking up your future yourself. So here's...
But I am contributing to my company's 401k.
Yeah, I know, but you also should be contributing to a Roth IRA. So are you ready for this dish?
Yeah.
You have been approved, but only because you do have the money. Only if you fund a Roth IRA at the same time, you can do it all. And after you've got it, send us in a meal. All right, Amy, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I would love to buy, or actually get an upgrade on my diamond ring for $6,326. My husband and I got married right out of high school, and we didn't have a lot of money. So now it's our 15-year anniversary. We worked really hard to get where we are now, and I really would love to get this ring.
And do you really want it, or does your husband want you to get it as well?
Oh, actually, he would like me to be happy and wants me to get it, too, because I want it.
Because you want it. Is this a want or a need?
It's definitely a want, I know.
All right, Amy, show me the money.
Okay, our take home is $7,370 combined. Our expenses are $6,072 a month. For debt, we have $278,000 in 30-year fixed mortgage and $133,000 in student loans. In savings, we have $39,000 in liquid, $6,000 in investments, and $56,000 in retirement.
All right, pretty good. It looks like. How are you going to pay for this?
I probably would just go out of liquid.
So out of liquid, so then that brings us down to like $33,000. Denied. And you listen closely to me. You don't have enough in your emergency fund. You have too much in student loans at a high interest rate. Are you kidding? You could be taking that money and paying down that student loans. You have 2 kids, but you don't have a 529 plan for them. You're underwater in your mortgages. You eat out too much. You spend $450 a month eating out. So I could go on and on. You can't afford it. If you really want your future to shine, do not buy this ring. All right, Greg, what do you want to buy?
Well, Miss Orman, it's not me, it's my lovely and charming wife.
That means you don't want her to.
Well, you know, it's so crazy that I told her the only way you will get near the store is if Suze Orman says you could go there, and then she dared me, so I called you.
I love that. So let's see. Can you afford it? I dare you to answer. Tell me what it is that you want to buy.
She would like to buy an Hermes Birkin crocodile handbag with gold, with white gold hardware.
All right, wait. I'm looking at this, and I just have to ask this because I think we have a mistake on our screen. I see $37,500. You probably mean $3,750, right?
No, you had it right. It's $37,500.
Are you telling me your wife wants to buy a bag for about $40,000? Wait, just don't even tell me this. How many of these does she already have?
She has one that she got, and now without the crocodile, just the cheap one. She bought the cheap one.
Yeah, all right, so just show me the money. Just show me the money.
All right, Susie, we have a combined income of $17,266 a month between us.
What do you both do?
We're both lawyers.
Great. All right, go on.
Our expenses are $13,208 a month.
Yeah.
Our debt, we have a $390,000 20-year fixed mortgage on our residence. We have 2 car loans for $57,000, and she has a student loan for $43,000.
Keep going.
Our savings, and don't ask me how they even got this far with their prior habits, $74,000 in liquid cash. We have $225 approximately in an investment account after tax, and $1.2 million in our retirement accounts.
So she looks at all of this money, the $1.2 million in retirement. She looks at the $225,000 in investments, $74,000 liquid, and she thinks you can afford it, right? You don't know. Denied. I won't even put you through this misery. Look at this. You are 59 years of age. If something happened to you, she would be in serious, serious trouble. You have 3 small kids. I don't see a 529 plan there. Are you absolutely crazy? She should become a bankruptcy lawyer so she can represent herself and you if she continues to operate like this. You are denied, denied, denied. Tell her I said it 10 times. She doesn't even have close to what it takes to buy a $40,000 bag with taxes. Are you kidding me? Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? Oh, I know you want to be. All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you'll find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me right here. And if we choose you to come on the air, you're going to get a T-shirt. Here they are. You will get one if it says denied, because if I denied you, like with that Birkin bag, this is what you're going to get. Denied. But if I happen to approve you, you'll get one that says approved. Now you know. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze.
He's not contributing because he thinks we should put that money towards paying our mortgage off earlier.
Why would your husband want to pass up free money? Welcome back, everybody. Now, does this place look familiar to you? Well, it should. We are at the control room at CNBC headquarters. So many ways for you to reach me. Take a look at your screen. You can email. You can join me on Facebook. You can join me on Twitter. Or if you put hashtag AskSuze, it comes right to us here in the control room. And if we choose it, your tweet will be on the air. Let's see what's trending right now. At Nate Corp. Nate wants to know, after a 20-year run with my car, it's time for a new one. Hate to spend so much money. How do you feel about leasing? Well, Nate, if you hate to spend so much money on a car, you do not, and I repeat, you don't want to lease. Because if you're leasing a car, you're going to be spending $200, $300 every single month, possibly for the rest of your life. What you want to do is, hey, you have a car that's 20 years old. All you have to do is sell that, get what you can, and buy a new car for you, but one that's used. So you can buy a car that's 5 years old and still not spend that much money. You don't have to buy a new car. Do you hear me, boyfriend? But do not lease. I hate leasing. Let's see what else we have. At Aquacord, I'm 30 with no kids, spouse, siblings, parents. Is having life insurance at this point a waste of money? Well, this one's simple. You betcha it's a waste of money. Listen, you only want life insurance if you have somebody who is dependent upon you financially speaking. And if something happened to you, you die, they would suffer a financial loss. You really don't have anyone, I'm so sorry to say, but that is the reality of your situation. What do? You do not get life insurance. It is just that simple. And let's go to webcam right now. Let's go to Shannon in California. Girlfriend, what do you need to know?
Hi, Susie. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my husband is the only one bringing home a salary. I'm concerned about him saving for retirement since I can't. His company matches 401k contributions. If we put 4% of his pre-tax income into a 401k, they will contribute 3%. But he's not contributing because he thinks we should put that money towards paying our mortgage off earlier. I think it's more important for us to start saving for retirement now. So what do you think?
Well, now, I'm not just going to side with you because you're a woman. I'm going to side with you because you are 100% correct. Why would your husband want to pass up free money? If he puts in 4% They give him 3%. They're almost giving him a 75, 80% guaranteed return on his money. At the same time, if you're smart, the interest rate on your home is probably low, or it should be low. So why rush to pay that off when you're still so young? Another mistake, however, that you need to know is you can absolutely save for retirement, girlfriend. Staying at home, being a mom is hard work. So you can open up a non-working spouse Roth IRA or traditional IRA, and you could put up to $5,500 a year in it, and that's exactly what you should do. But here's the bottom line. Hubby of Shannon, listen to her, because you are just plain out wrong. That's my answer. All right, let's go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next. Jan asked me, Susie.
How am I doing?
Jan, what kind of fish was that you were holding up there?
That was a walleye.
You do know my new passion is fishing. Do you know that about me?
No, I don't. Come on up. We'll go fishing.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. I'm 58 and single. For years, I've traveled for work and lived all over the country. My goal is to retire and move back to my home state where I already own a home. I want to be closer to family, especially my great nieces and my great nephew. Here's the kicker. I want to do this in 2 years when I hit 60. Susie, how am I doing?
Jan, what kind of fish was that you were holding up there?
That was a walleye.
A walleye?
Yep, it's a white fish.
A white fish and off of a lake somewhere?
Yes, Minnesota lakes.
I was going to say, because you do know my new passion is fishing. Do you know that about me?
No, I don't. Come on up. We'll go fishing.
Honey, girlfriend, saltwater fishing. I'm looking for tuna. I'm looking for all kind, having the time of my life. But here's the thing. You, in just 2 years from now, when you're 60, you know how I feel about that. I think everybody should work as long as they possibly can. But in just 2 years from now, when you're 60, you want to go home to your state of North Dakota. Where in North Dakota do you want to go to?
Fargo, North Dakota.
Did you know my mama's from Dickinson, North Dakota?
No, I did not know.
My whole family came from Dickinson, on my mother's side, from Dickinson, North Dakota. And she always said to me, Susie, you got to go back there. So I just might be paying you a visit if you get to retire and go fishing with you. If you were going to give yourself a grade, my dear Jan, to say you could retire in 2 years, what grade would you give yourself?
I'm going to go with a B+.
A B+. All right, let's show everybody what you have going for you, then I'll give you a grade. Jan is 58. She is single. Retirement, she has about $492,000, about $85,000 in an emergency fund, $10,000 in investments. Her current home value, she has two of them, remember, are $324,000. She owes $83,000 on the home she's currently living in. She owns the one in North Dakota outright. So she has total assets of about $911,000, total debt of about $83,000. Now let's look at your monthly after-tax income versus your expenses. Currently, you have monthly income of about $4,900 that you take home. Your expenses are $3,038, so you are able to save $1,850 per month, and you have about $12 in excess besides your savings. So, Jan, my dear, you know I love you very much. I don't know you personally, but I love you, and I know that you have this dream of being able to retire in 2 years. But I have to tell you that if I was going to give you a grade, I would be giving you not a B+. I would actually be giving you an A-. You are doing so great, it's not even funny. Listen, you retire in 2 years at the age of 60, you get a pension. After taxes, your pension's going to be about $2,200 a month, just your pension. Now, currently, you have expenses of about $3,000 a month, but you're going to sell your home. You're going to move back to North Dakota. You're not going to have hardly any expenses. I estimate you're going to need maybe $1,500, $2,000 at most to live on. And that's living high out there. Your expenses are totally going to be covered by what? Just your pension. Now I have, however, in 2 years, about $1 million that you could have invested, generating for you, if you wanted it to, $40,000, $50,000 a year besides your pension. But you don't need that. So that money's going to grow and grow and grow. And then in 7 years, or in 10 years, when you're 70, 67 or 70, you're going to start Social Security. So you are doing so great, I can't even tell you. But I gave you an A-. So here is your way to an A. You do need a living revocable trust. You don't have one. You need one, sweetheart. Next, given that you have extra money, I would get long-term care insurance just to make sure that as you get older, you're fine no matter what. And the third thing is this. I hope you have a lot of energy so that you can love your life because, sweetheart, you're going to be living a great one. Coming up next, one more thing I want you to know. What was so sad for me when I think about that situation is Michelle had no idea. She had absolutely no idea how bad off she really was. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Well, that almost is a wrap on the Suze Orman Show. But before we go, there's still one more thing I want you to know. Hopefully you were there to see my one-on-one guest tonight, Michelle, who had a serious financial situation, and really the only solution was bankruptcy, moving in with her mom, and all kinds of things like that. What was so sad for me when I think about that situation is Michelle had no idea. She had absolutely no idea how bad off she really was. How do you feel about claiming bankruptcy?
I didn't think that was that far as to claim bankruptcy.
Now, you know, it's easy for all of us to sit in judgment of people and go, how could she not know? How can these people get themselves into these situations? And we pass judgment as if, what were they thinking? But the truth of the matter is, many of you out there aren't a whole lot different than Michelle in the fact that you probably don't know how much money you really spend per month. You don't know about your financial situations because you don't take the time to really look at it. You're able to pay your bills, but are you able to pay them because why? You're putting it on credit cards and only paying the minimum payment due. You're taking loans from your retirement accounts or whatever it may be. So the higher road here really is not to pass judgment on one another, to identify with everybody that comes on the Suze Orman Show, because it could happen to any of us at any time, and to take the higher road and say, at least it's good that she tried to do something about it now. Now you know. But until next week, there's only one thing that I really want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it's this. People first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe.